Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahleal in this incarnation. So today I wanted to talk about depression. I already did a video about anxiety, and I talked about other illnesses. So the first thing I am going to say is that almost, of course, there are exceptions, but almost the every illness is created by ourselves. They come from emotions that are not well managed, and we start to feel those emotions in our body in order to pay attention to them and to work with them. So this is the first thing and the most important, because I know that psychology says that you have depression and you have to take that pill, and you have no power to change it because you are chemically dysregulated. And that's the same psychology, for example, that says that people that are narcissists are the victims, and they are not telling that they're choosing them because of their wounds. So this last speech made me once to stay much more longer in a narcissistic abuse. So it's very important to take responsibility. This part is the main thing about this, because if we give our power away, we are not able to change things. Our co-creator power is everything that we have to in order to modify this reality. So this is the most important part. Many people sometimes feel angry when I am saying this, because they say that we are like putting another load to people who have depression or are suffering. And I'm not saying that. I experimented that myself, so I know how it feels. But we certainly if we keep feeding that beast that is saying to us that we cannot do anything to change that, we are going to stay that way. I'm sorry, but it's what I experimented and what I investigated from, not from the official things, because the healthcare system doesn't care about people's health. Actually, I said this before, but they only want that people are have these dependencies on medicines. And the pharmaceutical industry is created not to cure, but only to keep people ill. So the first thing I am going to say is that depression, of course, is not sadness. Sadness is something that we can feel at the beginning, but this could be more of apathy, don't feel anything, start to fade out, and the life becomes gray, and we don't see anything positive, we don't see a reason to keep going. And as much as we are feeding that, and I'm going to explain a little bit more, we are this is from the perspective, the spiritual perspective. When we are lowering our vibration that much, entities are attacking us. So this thing about feel drained, we don't feel energy at all, and it is difficult to wake up or to take a bath, and the suicidal thoughts, all those things are entities attacking us, because we have low our vibration. So it's important to say that depression can be caused by many things. Maybe we experimented a recent trauma, a recent shock, or maybe this is something from our childhood, or there could be many reasons. We have to find our own reason. We have to find the root. That's the first thing that is important to confront, because that's the main conflict that is causing depression. This could be for a lot of things, but when we experiment something that was very shocking, it could happen that we have depression months later, for example. So in my case was for a lot of things. I haven't the diagnosis of depression, by I have the diagnosis of anxiety, and I didn't have the other diagnosis because I told you that I didn't believe in the psychology, anymore. So I started to treat that with alternative therapies. But it's important to say that I experimented everything. I experimented suicidal thoughts, and I know how it is to wake up and don't see, without having a reason to keep going. But I have to say that all those things are things that we created. The first steps to when we are getting in the depression, it's like think of a passive aggressive, it's like a covert anger, and we push that state, and we start to focus in all the negative. And as longer we are in that state and we are involved in there, we start to create the mechanism. And of course, when we stay for too long, like years, like months, like when we stay for really too long, of course this becomes chronical. This of course the chemical dysregulation happens. So what I'm trying to say is that this circuit of negative thoughts is something that we are creating, and that's the thing we have to understand. Of course, that, how I said before, if we have been staying for there for too long, it's important to start where we are. I mean, if it's difficult to take a bath, just trying to take a bath, trying to do the little things until we are getting better. I'm not saying, of course, you don't have to take medicine, for example. Of course, ask for help if you need it. But I mean, many people that I saw in these cases that were taking the medicines for years, and I told you about this in the video of anxiety too. They were just turning off the symptoms, and that's not solving the problem. So every time we are focusing in something that is not good in our lives, with self-destructive thoughts, we are punishing ourselves. Maybe we are feeling guilty, and we start to enter in that circuit, and it's not going to help you. We have to cut it. We have to cut it out. That's the solution. We have to put the power of our mind as much as we can to cut that circuit. And I mean, every programmation we have sustained for too long is difficult to change. This happens with every programmation. I mean, many of us have a lot of mechanisms that came from our parents, that came from our childhood traumas, and all those things are difficult to change. Of course they are, but they are totally possible. They are totally possible to do it. So we have to believe in that in order to cure ourselves. And if medicine could be a bridge, and only a bridge, that, I mean, we don't have to take medicine to turn off the symptoms and trying to keep going. We have to find a root. We have to find. I highly recommend alternative therapies, because those ones were the ones that helped me at that time. But everybody can do whatever they want. Of course, this is a channel that approaches things from a spiritual way. So for me, therapies that are integrating soul, that are integrating the spirit, and not only the mind, for me are more functional to these things. So you choose whatever you want, of course. And what's more important is that there's something that Eckhart Tolle said once. He was talking about this mechanism when we are kids, for example, and we ask something to our parents, and our parents said no, say no, sorry, and we start to have a temper tantrum. So they suddenly say yes, because we are doing that. So there, our parents are teaching us that life is going to give us what we want if we have this temper tantrum. So we start to treat life that way in order to life give our what we want, but that is not real. That actually causes the contrary. So this is something that it's very important about depression, because it's really a state of anger. We feel anger. We feel anger with ourselves many times. So we are punishing ourselves. We are making this self-destruction. So we can change it. We can really change it. And the most important thing is going one step at a time. Don't focus on the future. Don't focus on the time we lost. Sorry. Only trying to focus to keep going and giving baby steps, perhaps. And other thing that it's very important, I think, with this thing that of depression, is that if we don't know why we are here, if we don't know what is our purpose, or we aren't, we don't know what talents we have to offer in this world, it's difficult to have a reason to keep going. I already said this before, but this is a very powerful motor to keep going. This is an impulse. So to start that labor to find what we are good at and put the energy there will help a lot. So what I'm trying to say is to find the purpose of why we incarnate here is very important, to understand that we are important, that the things we have to give are important, and to understand that it doesn't matter if we spend I don't know, time being in a low vibration, or life is about ups and downs, and it's okay if we were in a down, but we have to forgive us for that, and understand that there's always an opportunity, and everything that we have everything that we are going through, it's part of the experimentation of this life. And maybe life is tough sometimes, but it have a lot of it has a lot of good things too, and we have to find them. We have to start to appreciate the little things. That's an exercise, and I know that many times it's difficult, but it's a work of the mind. We have to put all the focus on how is our mind working, and try to help us that way, because again, every time we enter in that circuit, and we could spend hours, we could spend a whole day like laying down and thinking about bad things, but that won't help. We can do something about that. It's not only because of the dysregulation. We are helping with our thoughts. So thoughts can really be destructive if we let them. If we keep telling us things that are not good, that we are that nobody cares, or that I don't know, we don't have anything to do in this planet, or I mean, I experimented all of these things, and that's why I could realize, sorry, that I was causing that to myself, and finding the roots were the main job, because there was a lot of things. There were a lot of things that I mean that were hiding, and there were a lot of traumas that I have to solve. And sometimes life is tough, but it's not only that. Life is a lot of things, and maybe if we give the chance to ourselves to experiment all the other things, maybe we find that life is beautiful, and we start to connect with other things. And of course, when we are starting to elevating, to raise our vibration, we're going to feel more energy, we're going to feel more will to do things. So just experiment this by yourself. Of course, again, if you need to ask for help, just do it. But this is something that we can change it. We can really do it. It's just to put all the energy in that. We have to solve the main problem right now. So focus on the things that are important for you right now. And again, I think the purposes of the souls here have to do with, we came here to give, and we came here to correct many things. So all the things we experimented, as much as painful as we could feel, those things are in order to give us a lesson. And I know that it's very hard sometimes, but there's always light. There's always light if we really are willing to find it. So sorry for my English. Thank you, everybody, and see you in the next videos. Ciao, ciao.